earnings, income tax has to be paid. Usually, income tax has to be paid at the end of the year on the income earned during a financial year. But do you know that tax is paid even before the end of the financial year? This is called advance tax. This scheme has been introduced to maintain a constant flow of funds for the government to reduce the financial burden of the taxpayers, and instead of paying tax in lump sum, it can be paid in installments. So what is advance tax? Advance tax is that income tax which is to be paid by the taxpayer every quarter instead of paying altogether. According to the Income Tax Act, the taxpayer has to calculate the earnings for the whole financial year. Based on this, tax has to be paid at specific intervals, that is, advance tax is paid during the same financial year in which you earn. So who has to pay advance tax? Every taxpayer whose tax liability in a financial year is 10,000 rupees or more, he has to pay advance tax. Whether he is employed, running a business, or engaged in any profession, salaried people are not required to pay advance tax as the employer pays salary after deducting TDS. Such taxpayers are required to pay advance tax only if they have income other than salary, such as income from rent, interest, or dividend. Usually, businessmen or professionals pay advance tax. People above 60 years are exempted from paying advance tax. The condition is that they should not have income from any business or profession. So when and how much advance tax has to be paid? Advance tax is divided into 4 parts. First installment by 15th June, second by 15th September, third installment by 15th December, and last installment by 15th March. You have to deposit 15% of the total tax as advance tax by 15th June, 45% by 15th September, 75% by 15th December, and 100% by 15th March. Penalty for not paying advance tax on time. Advocate and tax expert Gaurav Gupta explains that if you fail to pay advance tax on time, you will have to pay interest under the Section 234B and Section 234C. For instance, if you miss the deadline of 15th September, then you have to pay interest for 3 months, which is 1% interest rate per month. If the taxpayer has paid more advance tax, then he can claim refund by filing income tax return. Keep these things in mind while filing advance tax. Gupta explains that while filing advance tax, it should be kept in mind that the taxpayer has filled the correct assessment year and the PAN number is correct. Also, while calculating the advance tax, the taxpayer has to subtract TDS and deduction from the estimated total tax, and the amount of tax that is left after deducting tax exemption should be deposited as advance tax. So how to deposit advance tax? Filing advance tax is very easy. For this, you have to go to the e-filing website of Income Tax Department, that is www.incometax.gov.in, and click on the option of e-pay tax. After entering PAN number and mobile number, you will have to select the option of advance tax. You can pay through net banking or debit card. You can also generate challan number 208 and deposit it in an authorized bank branch to pay advance tax.